Why does Turkey dare to support Hamas and Palestine, while Israel does not support the Kurdish Guerrilla and Kurdistan? Many countries have shown their support for an independent Palestinian state. Even though there are so many larger nations than the Palestinians, such as Kurds, Berbers, and Baloches, still so many choose to support only the Palestinians. Some examples are Turkey, Norway, Ireland, and Spain. Paradoxically, these states oppress their own minorities, such as the Kurds, Sami, and Catalans. Despite the fact that Hamas are terrorists according to the international community, Erdogan supports them wholeheartedly, both in solidarity and materially. But Netanyahu has not done a single thing for Kurdish resistance groups, or dared to mention Kurdistan. Sure, it's obviously very incompetent of Netanyahu, but also a clear, elaborate thought behind the lame attitude. He believes that if he keeps his mouth shut, other countries won't get involved in his country's problems. But they have done that since the State of Israel was formed, and since the Jews are mentioned in scriptures, that means thousands of years ago. And the result? As I mentioned earlier in the video, many countries are against Israel. It's obviously a fiasco for Israelis. Change your course, Netanyahu. Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Could it be the Jewish arrogance as before, not caring much about getting the support of the outside world? After October 7th, many Jews think the opposite, however. Netanyahu is over 70 years old and is certainly from the old school. However, Jews should still understand today that they need states that support them. If Spain supports Hamas, Israel can support a free Catalonia. What are the Jews waiting for? Can the viewers say what makes Israel not want to support Kurdish groups and openly talk about an independent Kurdistan in a consistent way? And you know very well that the best way to annoy Turkey and make them back off their exploitation of Islam is to always talk about Kurdistan. It is very sad to see that leaders of Israel still don't know that Kurdistan is Turkey's Achilles heel and would give Israel a rest. Western men have become the weakest husbands and leaders in the world. While Erdogan couldn't care less about what the world calls Hamas, he non-stop hails them, invites them to his parliament, and openly gives them all kinds of support. You all know what kind of deadly support we are talking about, and Netanyahu is silently sitting and watching it.
Bir terör örgütü değil, topraklarını ve vatandaşlarını koruma mücadelesi veren, evet, bir kurtuluş ve bir mücahitler grubu.
When Kurds did defeat ISIS, the whole world stood by their side. But today, all is forgotten when it comes to their human rights. According to help organizations, there are thousands of witnesses confessing how Turkey helped ISIS. Video footage shows how Turkish and ISIS soldiers chat like buddies. All those ISIS barbarians that managed to run away are now soldiers in Turkish-held areas in Syria. And guess what? Turkey is bombing the Kurds not just within their own borders, but also in other countries. Any mass demonstrations on campuses for that? Well, it seems obvious then, no Jews, no news. Maybe it's time for Netanyahu to lift the Kurdish and Catalan issue. Kurds are the biggest nation without a state. Just imagine the stability in the Middle East when Kurdistan is established. Israel has hopefully lost their arrogance now and understands it needs more positive elements in the Middle East than just considering themselves. Weak Western leaders are afraid they will stir up bad blood with Turkey or Spain. That is why they are reluctant to talk about the human rights of the Kurdish and Catalan nation. Fools! New states will always rise. The People's Republic of China emerged in 1949. The Republic of Turkey was created in 1923 with an artificial nation called Turkish, all overnight, consisting of Kurds, Greeks, Georgians, and Arabs, etc. Their so-called Turkish language is a mix of languages. There are nations speaking Turkic, but they can't communicate due to all the Kurdish, Greek, and Arabic words the modern so-called Turkish language developed. Even Nike removed the name of Kurdistan in their latest song ad, probably scared that Turkey would boycott their brand. You cowards. If Kurdistan becomes a state, Nike would have a customer base of 3 generations that would buy their shoes forever. They would make Nike monuments in the country, become the world's strongest brand ever created, and Turkey would still buy their shoes after they have complained for 6 months. And preference to that is when English, French, Italian, and Russian carved up the Ottoman Empire after the First World War. The area consists of 45 states today. Still, connections have been and are exceptional towards the countries that destroyed the Ottoman Empire. So stop being afraid, Western leaders. Your economic ties won't disappear just because you support and help create a free Kurdistan. Hypocrites, you already do this today by supporting a Palestinian state. Most probably Netanyahu doesn't dare to mention Kurdistan, even less supporting it, because its imported oil from Azerbaijan goes through Turkey. But hold on, what is more important? That you have oil coming through to your country, or that Erdogan openly supports Hamas, and you will have Hamas as your neighbor? How are you making this equation to Israel's benefit? Time to find new oil partners and not look like a scared pussycat. According to the prominent writer Michael Rubin's article, If Turkey Arms Pakistan, Should India Help the Kurds? Turkish drones have been seen in the October 7th attack, killing Israeli civilians. This means that Turkey has used proxy elements to effectively carry out attacks against Israel. Maybe Michael's article should have been about, if Turkey arms Hamas, should Israel arm the Kurdish guerrilla? Turkey has recently also threatened that they may enter Israel militarily. And what does
country could invade Israel to support the Palestinians.
Biz nasıl Karabağ'a girdiysek, nasıl biz Libya'ya girdiysek, bunun benzerini aynen onlara da yaparız. Yapmamak için hiçbir şey yok. Sadece biz güçlü olmalıyız ki bu adımları da ne yapalım? Atalım.
He made these remarks while speaking to members of his AK party at a Black Sea province in northeastern Turkey. Erdogan has been a fierce critic of Israel and since October 7th has become a staunch supporter of Hamas, even hosting its leadership in Istanbul, and cutting all ties, including trade ties between Israel and Turkey. And mere hours after his threat to invade Israel, Turkey's foreign ministry compared Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to Nazi leader Adolf Hitler and threatened he would meet his end.
And what does Netanyahu do and say? Right, nothing. Let that sink in for a while. Imagine the stability in the Middle East if Kurdistan were established. It's time for leaders to recognize the potential benefits and support these stateless nations. Netanyahu must consider this and find new allies to ensure Israel's security and regional stability. Western leaders, stop being afraid. New states will rise and economic ties will adapt. Supporting a free Kurdistan could be a significant step towards a more stable and peaceful Middle East.
Thank you for watching. We are under attack even though we are just reporting news. They are trying to shut our channel down. It is of the utmost importance that you like, follow and comment on the video. Feel free to share it if you dare.